And we are back in studio now, live from North Conway Village. This is White Mountains Today. My guest right now is Jotham Oliver from Tin Mountain Conservation Center, and we are talking biking.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I know you guys just, was it last weekend, had the Century Ride, which always is a big event around my house because I live close to Tin Mountain, so we see the riders going by. They're full of pep on the way out, not so much on the way back.
Yes.
So tell me about that. How'd that event go?
Sure. That was great. We ended up with about 250, 260 riders. There's more elevation gain to that than actually doing Mount Washington. You climb over 5,000 feet. And, oh, yes, there's 109 miles. It's not 100 miles. It's 109 miles.
Bonus 9 miles.
Bonus? Wow. It's a baker's dozen.
Yeah.
Really. So, and you think they're tired when they go by your house. If you can only imagine, for those of you who have been to Tin Mountain, you have to climb up that hill at the end.
Yep.
So it was a very successful event. We had so much help. Shout out to the Bicycle Club, the Mount Washington Bicycling Club, who helped out at Aid Station 2, the ham radio operators. We had so much phenomenal support. There were ear-to-ear grins. Yep. Regardless, everybody had a great time.
Yeah, Tin Mountain puts on the best bicycling events in the Mount Washington Valley. So if you are into cycling and maybe didn't know about these events, maybe follow them on Facebook so next year you stay up to date and you can register when you need to register.
Absolutely.
Because there's another big event coming up this weekend.
Yes, absolutely. We have our largest fundraiser, the Mount Washington Auto Road Bicycle Hill Climb. It's our 46th year running it.
And this is huge. You guys have had some of the biggest riders in the sport actually come ride this race.
Oh, sure. We've had former pro riders. We have Phil Gaiman coming back. For those who are not familiar with Phil, he has his own YouTube channel. It's called The Worst Retirement Ever. So he's retired from cycling, and now he's like tackling hill climbs around the country.
Wow. And
beating himself ragged. And he's got a great dry sense of humor. Really excited to have Phil back with us this year.
A lot of fun. Now this year there's still some opportunity to get into this race?
There is. We'll have day of registration. Really prefer people to come Friday night. That way with Granite State timing, we can get you into the system. So yeah, there's still opportunity to get into the race.
And the race, it sounds self-explanatory, but it's up the mountain.
Yes, it's just one hill,
7.6
miles. It's the steepest hill climb in the world in the race. You end at a 22% grade, which is just incredibly nuts. Complete circus at the top. Have you been to the top?
I have been, yeah. I've been there a few times, and I don't know if this is a good story to tell on TV, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So Tyler Hamilton, world-class racer, had some legal troubles in cycling towards the end of his career. But at the time, he came up there. He was Lance Armstrong's tour mate on the U.S. Postal Service team, Tour de France. So he was racing there, and his goal was to set the course record. So I was videotaping the event at the time, and I go up to the top, and he does. He blows away the competition, sets the course record, shatters it, and he's coming in at the top. And at the time, race director Mike Klein, who recently passed away, great guy, big loss. Mike was up there. He excellent. What's the word I'm looking for? Scientist. He knows his. He's a naturalist. Knew his trees. Knew everything. Didn't know a lot about cycling, but he was kind of the honorary person up there to help the riders get off their bikes, especially the winner. So Tyler Hamilton just breaks the record, comes to the finish line, and usually the person at the top grabs kind of the bike by maybe the handlebars and the stem of the seat to allow the rider to, they're shaky at that point. And it's like climbing, and all of a sudden you're just done. Yeah. So you grab the bike, let the rider get off, and Mike tried to put Tyler's arm around his neck or something, and ended up just throwing him to the ground. So that's my favorite story of the hill climb.
Yes. Well, I mean, if anything,
there's lots of great stories aside from that, but that's one of my memories.
Even the top athletes, they are exhausted. I mean, this is an event. It's a bucket list event. It's the Boston Marathon of cycling events for us, hands down. And you are drained. I call it the human crucible. So when you get to the top, you earn that. You earn your fleece blanket. You earn that medal, hands down.
I've seen so many inspiring stories over the years. I remember I think it was like an 11-year-old kid at the bottom. He was from New Mexico. He's probably still doing the race and probably one of the elite riders now.
Jonah Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah.
How old is he now? I don't want to know.
Oh, you don't want to know.
Is he like 25 or something?
Oh, he's taking his EMT exam. He won't be there this year. He signed up,
really?
But he's missing the race. He's taking the EMT exam.
I remember him. It might have been one of his first years. 11 years old from New Mexico. He was he was at the beginning. He was around a lot of the riders from the. What's the big club out of Massachusetts?
TTE? Or 545?
I don't know. One of them. They had like pink and blue jerseys. Yeah. Anyway, a bunch of really great riders. And he's hanging with them, 11 years old. And these guys are huffing and puffing. And at the beginning, they're like, hey, you know, this kid's fun. And then they're like looking at him like, okay, you're starting to annoy me because this kid's just, he's enjoying. He's like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then he did it. He made it all the way to the top, 11 years old, great time. And you see so much of that on the road. Towards the top of the hill, people just like pushing their absolute limits, and they're in a state of like delirium, but like kind of just riding that edge of like joy and you know, and suffering.
Yes, absolutely. And we're really happy this year to have Marty Shea, former champion, and Joe Tonin. They'll be doing the announcing.
Really?
If you spend any time with Marty and Joe, they are the most positive people in the world. They'll be their cheerleaders, getting people up to the top. Excited to have them coming back.
Was it hard? It must be hard for Marty to not do the race, because I know she was like the top female finisher consecutively for like years.
Yes, absolutely. No, Marty's still kind of got an itch, and she said whenever I've talked to her, she said, don't count me out. I could come back at some point in time.
Did someone finally beat her, or did she retire at the top of her game?
If I remember right, she had a knee issue back in 2014, 2015. So, but she's still riding, still helping out with Destination Cycling, and still does her own coaching as well. So she could be coming back someday.
Yeah. Is this a spectator-friendly event? How can people actually, if maybe someone just wants to hang out and watch some of it?
That gets to be a tough call, because you got to get there early, and then you're only allowed up the mountain if you have a rider pass. Okay. So yeah, that's at the bottom there's a nice circus, and at the top there's the Cirque du Soleil, as you know. It's ridiculous with the cowbells and what have you. You can see there on the video. But no, we do not allow people to go up just because of the limited amount of parking that we have at the top.
Yep, absolutely. So there's a unicycle. So is there a particular unicycle category?
There is. We have a unicyclist category. We have a tandem category. Andrew Warby is going to be doing an elliptical ride up at the top for his second year in a row. So absolutely.
All right. Anything else you want to add about this event?
Sure. I got a shout out to my sponsors, the Cadence Wealth Management Preem. That's the race within the race. So we'll be giving $750 out to the first male and female to get to the mile mark.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty big deal there.
It's amazing how fast these riders start out too.
Oh, absolutely. It's completely silly. I mean, if you think that the fastest climb is right around 50 minutes, that's how long it takes an auto road coach to get to the top, about 50 minutes. So Destination Cycling, they give out a free trip to Mallorca, 2 free trips to Mallorca.
Wow.
Finish Line Cycling, they have tons of gear that they're giving away for all the age group winners. Quad cyclists out of Arlington, Mass. They're coming up providing technical support, as well as they help out with rentals. The AMC helps out. They help us out with our fundraising. They give a trip to one of their cabins. And Be Cool as well. They help us out with our fundraisers too. So a lot of support that goes into this. The ham radio people are back as well. Looking forward to having a great day. Hopefully the weather works out.
You never know about Washington, but that's one of the allures, right?
There you go.
It's absolutely like rolling the dice, which you're going to get. And we should also support all of this as a benefit for Tin Mountain Conservation Center, which does great work.
Absolutely. There's probably nobody not watching this show right now that isn't affected by Tin Mountain one way or the other. But all the schools that we're in, they personally come to my school. I teach over at the Maine Environmental Science Academy over in Freiburg. We work with them extensively. They do a great job.
Yep, absolutely. Anything else you want to add?
A shout out, really, if we end this best for last, we have to shout out to the Auto Road itself. They've been putting on this event. This is their mountain. This is their road. This benefits Tin Mountain, and Howie opens up his road for half the day for us, and we really appreciate Howie and his crew. Lisa Matthews, who's new this year, really excited to work with Lisa. And then Kim Hoyt. You remember Kim?
Yep.
Kim is having her first child today.
Wow!
So Kim, wherever you are,
congratulations,
Kim. Yes.
Yep. I've worked with Kim many times over the years on some of these events. I wonder if she'll name the child after the race somehow.
I'm not sure. Yes, Mountain. I don't know. Something like that.
Auto race. Well, thank you for coming on so much.
All right.
And if people want to stay, in touch with Tin Mountain and maybe stay abreast of these cycling events,
yes.
is Facebook the best way to do
that? Yes, Facebook keeps us current. We do have our website as well, MWARBH. It's a bit of a mouthful. Whatever this is.
Mount Washington Auto Road Bicycle Hill Climb.
.org.
Whatever the initials
Absolutely. are. Yeah, they can do that as well as the Tin Mountain site. But yeah, our own Facebook page specifically for this race, and we have a Facebook page for the Century.
All right, and I think we just saw that flash up on the
screen.
There we
go. There's that commercial. Does that footage look familiar?
Yeah. I think so. Probably.
Yes, that is you. Chop that up.
All right. Well, we are going to. Oh yeah, now it does look familiar. I remember.
Yeah. See, there's that Jonah kid.
Yep. Actually, man, I'm good.
There's Casey Clark.
I'm feeling old.
There's Marty. There we go.
Well, we are going to take a quick break. Jotham Oliver, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Hannah, Catherine. Hey. Sorry, shout out to my wife and kid.
That's all right. I know I should be doing the same thing. My daughter Ellie had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Ellie.
Right. There we go. Good stuff.
We'll be right back with more.